Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Stamp and Chat with Gina K. I am so excited that you're all here. I would love to find out from you guys if you could hear me okay. I'm using a kind of a new setup, so it would be great to make sure that the microphone's working. And I also have my husband watching from the basement, and he's kind of helping too. Okay, great. Thank you so much. The sound is on. That's fantastic. And we're doing something a little bit different today. We are actually streaming on Facebook and on YouTube at the exact same time, thanks to my daughter, Alicia, who's just amazing and just helped me figure out how to do it. So if anybody asks me how to do it, my answer is I have no clue. I just know that I'm here and I believe that it is streaming in both places. And I can see your comments coming in on my screen from both locations. So it's great to see all of you guys here tonight. Here we are. I don't even know what day it is anymore. I do know it's Monday because today something happened here in Wisconsin. I know that a lot of our friends out there are at the point where their state is doing a stay-at-home mandate. Some of you are doing shelter in place. Well, our governor did something very strange today. Trying to think of what he called it. It was a, do you remember what that was called, Alicia? What the governor has us doing today, it's not, anybody from Wisconsin, if you know it, it's not a stay-at-home mandate. It's kind of like a suggestion. Like, we kind of think it'd be good if you stayed home, but it's not a mandate. So yeah, it's a little crazy. I think probably a stay-at-home mandate is very soon, because the way that he did it today, I don't think anybody's gonna, well, some people are staying home. We're staying home, you know, but I think some people won't. But I want you guys to know that we are still shipping our orders. So I know you over the weekend placed some orders, and I want you to know that the way we're doing it is it's only Tom and I. We go from our home to our car that's in the garage. We go to the back of the store and we walk in the back door. We're the only ones at work. We pick and pack and your orders. And then the mail lady calls us when she's on her way, and we stick the bin outside. And then she rolls up in her mail truck and she packs her truck and she leaves the bin. And then later we go up and get the bin, and we take alcohol wipes and wipe everything down. We wash our hands and we start again the next day. We go home. So we're not really seeing people. Our delivery drivers are now leaving stuff outside or in between our doors. We have like an outer door and an inner door, and kind of leave things and just, you know, let it sit for a little bit. So we're going to continue to pack your orders and ship your orders until they tell us that we absolutely can't leave our front door. But I do want you to know we're being responsible about it. We are not congregating in any other groups than just the group that we live with right here in our house. Okay, so for those of you who've been on some of our Facebook Lives, you may have seen that I always show you a little something that I like for relaxing. And the other day I showed you this. This is a little essential oil that I really like, and it's called Peace and Calming, and it's from Young Living. Well, I forgot, before I had ever heard about Young Living, I had purchased 2 other little essential oils, and I want to show you them and what they're called. They're awesome. We are going to stamp, I promise, in just a little bit. But this is by a company called Auracacia, and this is called Mellow Mix. I don't know if I'm saying the name of it right. And I got this at Whole Foods, and they also have it at a lot of the co-ops and some of the stores like that. So this is called Mellow Mix, and it's also an essential oil mix, and it just smells delightful. And then there's one more that I really like. You'll laugh when you see this one. This is called Panic Button. So this is supposed to be a stronger blend. And what it tells you to do is inhale count to 10, and then exhale, and then breathe the essential oil, and then relax, and do that a couple of times. So I don't know. I like these things. These are, they're not cures for anything. They just make me kind of feel cozy at home and a little bit more relaxed. And then I want to show you something else that a friend gave me. She dropped this off for me, and this is a little bag of little rocks and stones in here and crystal things. And this is called a stress relief kit. And it's got some little crystals in here, and they're all really pretty, and they're really smooth, and they're fun to just hold in your hand and keeps you busy. And I suppose there's energy comes out of these. So it's kind of cool. So I have these too. So all my pretty things, my candles, my music, you know, a good book, kind of keep those things around me when I'm not watching the news. Well, I am so glad you joined me tonight for Merry Monday. So I'm going to be going live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And on Mondays, we are going to be making Christmas cards or holiday cards. It's going to be called Merry Monday. And then Wednesday is going to be called Wednesday Whimsy. And that is going to be like whatever, you know, whatever we feel like doing. I have an idea for this Wednesday, I'm going to be using some of the Glitz glitter gel and making some sparkly cards, pencils, and things like that. So if you want to prepare and stamp with me, get whatever kinds of pastes or glitter gels or glitter pastes or whatever you have and some of your favorite stencils, and we'll make some cards together doing that. And then on Friday, I'm going to be doing something called Flashback Friday. And Flashback Friday gives us an opportunity as crafters to use stamps that we already have in our collection. They've been sitting there for maybe a couple of years. And because we're always getting the next new thing, we might forget that we have some of these fantastic stamp sets already in our stash. So on Fridays, I'm going to be using old stamp sets, and we'll be calling that segment Flashback Friday. So today, I'm actually using an old stamp today, an old stamp set. This is the Sparkling Snowflakes stamp set. And this was from a kit that we did a couple of holidays ago. And I'm going to be using that tonight to do a little bit of emboss resist. So if you want to find a snowflake set that you have in your collection, it doesn't have to be this one. It can be any snowflake set that you have. Maybe you have our new folk art snowflakes that we just released over the last holiday, or maybe you have snowflakes from other companies. As long as you find some snowflake stamps and something to blend some ink over them and some white embossing powder and embossing ink, you can make these cards. So I know a lot of you are making comments, and I definitely want to read all of your comments. I am kind of here, you know, by myself for the most part. So there's nobody making sure that, you know, every comment or question gets answered. But as they go by, I'll take a look and I will try my best to answer them. Somebody just asked me something about stamp pockets. Oh, am I going to bring back that kit this year? No, but the stamps are available, so you can still get the stamps. Let's see. I'll do my best. If I look up and I see a question, I will definitely answer it. I think Karen Hightower is here, and she is my design team coordinator, and she can also help out because she knows a lot about Gina K designs. So if you have a question, she can try to answer that. I don't know if she's watching on YouTube or on Facebook. I think she's watching on Facebook though. Okay. So while you guys are gathering your things, I was thinking about our card making community. And I was thinking about, you know, I make these cards and I send them out to people, and I might have a handful of cards that I send out to a handful of people. Here's one that I'm getting ready to send out, and I made this card using a Simon Says stamp set. This is a stamp set I designed for Simon Says Stamp, and this is called Amazing Flowers, and you can still get this now. It was actually a free gift for a little while when we were the brand of the month, but they liked the stamp set and they decided to keep it in their collection. So this is one that you can still get, but not on my site. It's over at Simon Says Stamp. But I was thinking, okay, these little cards that we make, you know, we put a lot of love and a lot of thought into them. And some of them are clean and simple and quick, like most of the ones I make are. Some of them you guys take a full day to color. But there are very, very little things that we're doing and sending out to people. And I saw a quote today, and I just wanted to tell you the quote, because I really feel like these small acts of kindness that we do, sending a card, maybe a little thing of chocolate or something that we do for people that we love, but sending a card, because you don't have to be within 6 feet of somebody to do that. I saw this great quote, and it said, "Small acts, when multiplied by millions of people, can transform the world." And we know our world is going through a big transformation right now. So let's be part of the good. Let's do some good, and let's kind of tune out all the noise, make some cards, think about people that could really use a little pick-me-up, and let's do that. Oh, Kathy, I see your comment. Let's keep Christ in Christmas card, not holiday cards, please. Well, I can't guarantee that I'll always make a Christmas card, but I'm always going to make a card that is in season. Some of them might be perfect for sending to your Christian friends. Some might be great for, I might make a Hanukkah card for your Jewish friends. And I might just make a more generic holiday card that you could send to somebody that maybe doesn't celebrate one holiday or the other, but they're just really in the holiday spirit. So we're gonna stick with holiday cards now, but whatever kind of card you want to make, I think it's great. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the embossing magic pad, and I'm gonna bring my other camera in here. So hopefully you guys can see through the magic of television. We have a 2-camera shoot here. So I have the embossing magic pad, and I'm going to rub that all over the surface of this piece of white cardstock. Now, for those of you that want to do the card exactly to the measurements that I'm doing, I cut this piece of cardstock 3 3/4 of an inch by 5 inches. So I'm going to start, boy, there's some big snowflakes on here. Maybe I'll use some of the smaller snowflakes for this card. So I'm going to start with this snowflake here, and I'm going to use the round acrylic block, and I'm going to put it on there, and then I'm going to use some Versamark ink. That's right, Linda, I love that comment. We need to be as positive as possible. That brings more positivity to the world. I agree 100%. I think there is nothing like a little positive love and little acts that we can do each day. Okay, so just shot that right across the table. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stamp this kind of in the center, and I want to make sure that I get, oh no, Daniel lost his embossing magic thingamajig. Should I find it or just buy another one? Well, Daniel, I have 2 because I use them so much, I can't believe that the powder actually kind of just disappears. So I would say it'll never hurt to buy a second one, and I guarantee you, if you buy the second one, you'll find the first one. That's the way it always works, right? Oh, thank you, Mary. Mary said she loves my blocks. And Cordula, you just sent out 30 cards. That's amazing. Oh, I bet that's 30 people that are going to have a really, really happy day when they get those. Okay, I know there's new comments, but I have to actually stop stamping to scroll down. All right, so I'm stamping 3 of these, and I did them like a V pattern, but I can't really see where I've stamped them, so I'm going to emboss these first. And then I'm going to go back and emboss the rest of them. It'll be easier for me to see once I have the embossing powder on there. Now, I know maybe you guys can't see this, but I can definitely see where the embossing powder is on here. You might be able to see it a little bit, but of course it's even harder in a live stream because it's never quite as clear as when we film and upload. But now I can really see where those snowflakes are, and you're going to be able to see them in just a little bit. And I'm going to fill in with this tiny snowflake. So again, I'm going to use some Versamark. Let me scroll down and see what you guys are seeing. Oh no. So if for any reason any of you have any problems hearing or seeing, or something freezes up, you can always go out of the stream and then come back in. So I'll put one here. And then I'll put one down here. And I'll put one over here. And then I'm going to emboss these again with the white embossing powder. Now, because I'm using white cardstock, I could use clear embossing powder. So if you don't have any white, just go ahead and use clear and you'll get the same look. I overlapped a little, but that's okay. All right. So now I'm going to emboss that with my heat tool. Just blow away the excess. So you don't see me do that in my videos, right? You never see me go, but I do that off screen. So you guys should do that too. So I'm sorry if this is a little bit loud. It'll only take a second. I should actually let my heat tool run for just a minute and make sure that it gets nice and hot, because then my cardstock will get embossed more quickly. My powder will get more embossed more quickly, and it won't warp my cardstock as much. Okay. There we go. I love the card making community, and I love all what we do. I think the world needs this more than anything right now, because this is just a way to be so much more personal. It's great to reach out and email people. It's super to connect with them online. But there is really something about taking the time to actually get a pen and write something. So I feel like there's like an empty spot right there. So I'm going to fill that in because I'm not in any hurry tonight. And welcome everyone. It's so exciting to see you guys all here. I'm really, really thrilled to have you. You guys are just wonderful for being here. And I hope everything's clear enough and you can see what I'm doing. So I'm using the smallest snowflake from that set. And I'm going to put the embossing powder on there. That's not too bad. And one more little hit with the heat tool, and then we'll be ready to do some ink blending. Okay. Now, for those of you that missed my live the other night I did on Facebook, we did make some Christmas cards. It was kind of a spur of the moment decision. And we used pastel colors. And that was so much fun to use pastel colors, because I gotta say, I'm tired of winter. And I actually woke up this morning and there was a ton of snow on the ground. And I don't know if any of you guys live up north like me, but come on, it's already spring. They told us it was spring. I saw the calendar, it said spring, but we're still getting some snow and I'm just kind of sick of it. So I wanted to use spring colors, and I think I'm going to use some spring colors again, but I am going to make a more traditional card too. Oh, and thank you all so much. Some of you are saying, Marge is saying that she's a newer stamper. My videos are a huge help. Oh, that just makes my heart feel so happy. Thank you so much. I am so glad that you enjoy them. I enjoy making them, really do. I haven't made too many in the last month because everything's been so crazy, but these lives are very, very fun. So I have two different blending brushes here. And for those of you who haven't seen these brushes, of course, these are the amazing life-changing blender brushes by Picket Fence Studio. They are fantastic. These are also fantastic brushes, and they're super cute and super fun. These are by Simon Says Stamp, and these come in a bunch of different colors. They have pink, they have yellow, they have, oh, I don't have all of mine here. Some of them are put away, but really cute colors, so you can see those too. And I'm a big fan of all kinds of blending brushes. I also still really like my sponge daubers. So I think I'll start with the sponge dauber for this. And this one is going to be a very springy card. So of course, you guys know my favorite color, right? It's always turquoise or teal or something like that. So I'm going to use a little bit of sea glass for this. All right, and then I'm going to start with this little sponge dauber, and I'm going to just start in the center of each snowflake just to bring the color out. See how that you start to see that emerge? That's so fun. And that gives a nice dark amount of color on that snowflake. So we'll start like that. And right about there. Okay. Then I want to do a little softer blending. So I'm going to ink up the Life-Changing Blender brush. And to do a lot of pressure, just put your finger on the end. These brushes are very flexible and you can really press into your paper and do your blending. But if you want a lighter touch, then just let go of the top and just blend, and you'll get a much lighter blend. So I usually start with my finger on it. And then as I'm going out, I let go and I just let it get misty toward the edges. So you can see, get a really nice blend that way. And you can see that whole snowflake starting to emerge. All right, let's do the other ones that way. So I'm going to just start with a little pressure. And then I'm going to let go and let it blend out. And you can see I'm kind of blending into the other snowflake there. We'll do that again. Pressure and then let go. And you just can't get quite as much pressure if you let go of pressing on it, and that just naturally makes your blend a little bit lighter. And that might be a reason, if any of you are struggling a little bit with getting ink on your project, that you're not actually pressing the brush into the project. So, you know, by pressing it in there, you really distribute a lot of ink. Okay, and then for the second color, I'm going to use, I've got several picked here. I'm going to use Apple Mint for the second color. And I'm going to use the Simon Says Stamp brush. And for this one, I'm just going to start blending. I'm not going to use a sponge or anything. And as I blend these, I'm going to blend into each of the snowflakes that's next to it. And that kind of changes the color there. So it gives you lots of gradient. It's not all green. It's not all blue. It gets bluer green, and then it gets more sea glassy. All right. And then I'll take pictures of cards and I will post them. Where do you guys want me to post them? Should I post them on Facebook or should I post them on my blog? I could do both. I'll do both. Okay, this way. I know some of you don't have Facebook and you guys were asking me to do this live on YouTube. So hopefully this is helping. Okay, now I have a piece of paper towel and I got to tell you, I am hoarding paper towels because I'm one of those people that feels like if you don't have 6 rolls of paper towels that you are running out. So I'm reusing paper towels in my craft room. And I'm going to rub this over the surface, and that's just going to pick up any ink that is on top of those snowflakes. All right, isn't that a nice blend? I like that. So let's put a greeting on here. So I could use an acrylic block, or we could all watch me struggle with the Misty and not hit the camera. So let's do that. I'm going to struggle. All right. So I'm going to use one of these. Oh, I like this one so much. Bless the season, which engages the whole world in a conspiracy of love. Oh my goodness. That makes me a little teary with everything that's going on right now. Blessed is the season. That is definitely a Christmas card. Blessed is the season. Well, I mean, it could be for Hanukkah too. I would do this definitely for a religious holiday. Blessed is the season, which encourages the whole world in a conspiracy of love. Love it. All right, so that one is going down here at the bottom. Now, because I'm not standing up, I am hoping that this is going to be straight. Maybe I should stand up. Let me stand up here. Okay, look down over it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, we're going to wing it. I'm going to sit back down. I bought these new chairs, and they don't have wheels. And so I'm like bouncing, trying to get in. Okay. So of course, you guys know me. I have to have a little black on every card I make. I absolutely love that little drop of black. So I'm going to use, this is what I'm using here. I'm using the Gina K Designs, our regular dye ink, our black onyx ink. You can use our amalgam ink. Oh boy. You guys, I just put this stamp on upside down. This would have been an absolute disaster. So I'm going to clean that. And I'm going to flip it. Whew. I'm so glad I didn't see that. Yes. What's that? Microfiber cloths don't get the brushes. Is that really clean? Is that what you mean, microfiber cloths? So how to clean the brushes, I think maybe somebody might have asked that. I use the tidy towels sometimes to clean the brush because it's a little damp and it gets the bulk of the ink off, but it doesn't absolutely saturate the brush where I have to let it dry overnight. Yep, microfiber cloths are really good too. I like the tidy towel because it's, well, I like it because it's dark and it doesn't show the ink quite as bad. I also, I know microfiber cloths are really good, but there's something about a microfiber cloth. I don't know if it's my dry skin, but when I pick one up, it sticks to me. And so it's just a texture thing for me, but they do work really well. So for those of you who have microfiber cloths, they're great. It's just something that I don't like the feeling of on my skin, I guess. Okay, so this is not upside down. That's a good thing. All right, there we go. Oh, I love that. Blessed is the season which engages the whole world in a conspiracy of love. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to put this back and then I'm going to assemble this card. And then of course we have to add some bling. You know, we got to add bling. Okay. So we have so many people here tonight. We have over 1,000 people that joined us tonight. How exciting is that? I love it. Oh, and somebody has a frowny face. I think somebody didn't like something I said. Well, I apologize for that, but I see lots of hearts and love and happy, and that's really what I want. That's why I'm here. Okay, so we are going to make a card base for this, and I'm going to use turquoise C. I think that will look really nice together. This would also look really pretty with a white card base too, if you want like beyond clean and simple, clean looking. But I am going to use a turquoise C one because I really like the that pop of color back there. And then I also have some black pieces of cardstock. And I'm going to mount that onto the black piece of cardstock. Let me shift over here a little bit so I don't go out. And I'm just check in on you guys and see how everybody's doing. Everybody's looking good. Aw, okay. So when I emboss, sometimes the cardstock does get a little bit warped. So I use a little bit more tape, but rather than long strips, I just kind of use it in more places to keep it all tacked down nicely. Okay, and I can't believe I'm getting Christmas cards done. I don't get Christmas cards done when it's Christmas. This is a real opportunity for us to really get this done. And you know what? All of this is going to be long past us by Christmas. We're all going to be out doing Christmas shopping and doing gatherings and seeing our neighbors and our friends. And we're going to be like, you know, we used that time. We used it really well. Okay. And there we go. I could have used sea glass too, but turquoise sea and sea glass is the same shade of turquoise. It's just one is darker than the other. So I think it works really well. So do you guys like that so far? I think it's fun. Okay. All right. So I have some Gina K Designs Connect glue. A lot of the glues that are out there on the market are really good. So if you don't have this glue, just grab a glue that you have and embellishments. I'm going to use disco ball sequins because They really pick up just about any color that you're using, and they're they're on my desk here from my last live, so that makes it easier for me to decide. If you're new to our sequins, I know I told you guys this on the last live, but for our new friends that are joining us, our sequins are kind of neat because they are flat, but they just curl up just on the edge, which means that there's more flat space to stick onto the card, and they're not quite as cupped, but because they've got that little rim that's cupped on the edge, they still reflect the light really nicely. All right. Hey, and I just found out that I can actually, I think on YouTube, it's possible to make somebody like a moderator where they can come in and answer questions and things like that. So I'll have to look into that and see how to do that. But I'm going to add sequins in places that I think need something. And I do like to use odd numbers. So I think I'm going to do one down here too. So I added 5 dots of glue, and then I have my Marvy jewel picker. And I know there's lots of neat jewel picking tools. There's the crystal, I think it's called Crystal Katana tool. And then there's one by, there's one that has like kind of this rubbery stuff that you twist out of the top, and they all work really well. I do like the Marvy jewel picker as my favorite one. Seems to work really well for me, but whatever you have, use it and put some bling on your cards. Okay, so there we go. I've got 5 sequins on that card. And there we go, done our first card for the evening. And it's only 7:30, so we can make another one. I'm excited. So the next one I'll make is a little bit more traditional Christmas colors. I'm going to do a red card base with it. Let's see, I'm just glancing through. Oh yeah, I could have Rena moderate, or I could have Alicia moderate. Yeah, that would work. It's a good idea. Karen's also really great. I know she comes into these lives a lot, and she's a moderator on our Facebook page. And Kathy Tidwell is awesome. She's a moderator also on our Facebook page. So I'm sure that if they're seeing questions from you guys, they are answering. So I'm going to hold it up in this light. Let me go solo here. Let me see if I can figure out how to do that. Okay. So maybe you can see this a little better and clearer. I don't know if one camera's clearer than the other. So that's the way that card came out. I like it. It's kind of fun and easy, right? You could mass produce 10 of these this week and sign them all. Okay, so this is what we're doing for Merry Monday. We're making the cards, and then after we make the cards, we're going to actually get our address book out. We're going to sign the cards, and we're going to put them in an envelope and address the cards. We're going to put our return address on them, and we're even going to put a forever stamp. I actually have leftover Christmas forever stamps from last year. So I might use those, but there's all kinds of really pretty ones, and you can order stamps from the post office. You don't have to go to the post office to get them. So you could order some pretty stamps and just get started on your Christmas cards. Making them never seems to be the problem for me. I love to make them. But then they all pile up, and then I get like 1 week from Christmas, and I'm like, ugh, I forgot to sign all the cards and get them out. Now I don't have time, so I guess I'll do them next year. And then they never go out. So if we do the whole process, because we have time, a lot of us are sheltering in place, let's do it. Let's get our cards all ready to go, put them in a pretty basket on the shelf, and right in December, the beginning of December, we can mail them out, and we'll be so far ahead. Okay, so that's the first card for tonight. Now the second card for tonight, I'm going to do something similar, but I think I'm going to do a different orientation. So instead of doing the wide, oh, I better get myself out of solo mode here. Let's see. There we go. Instead of doing the wide look, I'm going to do the book fold, this style card, which means I'm going to need my cardstock to be straight up and down. Now, again, I'm going to be using my embossing magic pad. I'm really curious, Daniel, did you find your embossing magic pad yet? I've seen people try to make these themselves with like some cornstarch or something, but this does not feel like cornstarch to me. I don't know what it is. It feels different than that. So I'm afraid to do that. Oh, you're waiting for the disco ball sequins to come back in stock. We do have them on order. And I will tell you that I know some of our things are out of stock. That is just, it's kind of the nature of the way things are right now. Everybody's working with very, very reduced staffs. And so many of the places that our products come from, a lot of our products come from California, and there's a big shelter in place. So I know a lot of the companies out there are really trying their best. Let me get a different block to get up here. I need a bigger block for this. So I'm going to get my big squarish rectangle block because I want to use one of the bigger snowflakes. We'll use this one. This is truly, I love this snowflake too. Okay, let's put it on this way. Fits a little bit better. And I don't know if you guys have ever tried our comfort blocks, but I do want to show you that they are, I don't know if you can see this, but they are super rounded. So there's no sharp edges. And even on this new round one that we have, there are no sharp edges, and they all have grids. We have a square one that's the same size as the round one, but it's square. And if you like a square feel in your hand better, the square one is a good one, and they're all rounded. So I just wanted to show that to you. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start like off to the side here, and I'm going to put a big snowflake in there. Kind of hear music playing. I don't know where that's coming from. I should be playing Christmas music. Wouldn't that be fun? Oh my goodness. Guys, do you know there's like, I think on Facebook we have like 1,100 people, and on YouTube we have like 300. That's a lot of people. I hope I'm doing this right. Okay. So now I'm going to start this one like right here. I'm going to come in and give it a lot of snowflake on the card. Okay. I'm going to push down, really get that ink on there. And then I'm going to emboss this one right away. And again, I'm using white, but you can use clear. And you can use whatever you want. I mean, if you have silver or gold or rose gold or whatever you want, you can try this all different ways. Because if you're going to make a bunch of these, try a variety. Have a little bit of fun and stretch. Okay. So I'll emboss this one first. I want to leave room at the bottom for a greeting. But I definitely want this all to kind of feel like it's coming in from the side and the corner. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to put this snowflake back. And I know I'm not cleaning these. I am really guilty of not cleaning my stamps when I use Versamark or when I use embossing ink. I don't know if any of you guys do that, but that is just one of those things where I'm lazy about it. I guess if I can't see the ink, it's not there, right? That's just lazy. All right, so now I'm going to put one right here. So I think I'll put that one there. Let me get my smaller block. I'll use the square block that's here. Okay. So this one's going to come in from the top. Let's see here. Right about here. And I like to, sometimes I'll just emboss them one at a time because I really want to see where they are and I want to space them evenly. And a lot of card making for me is methodical. Like I'm not really in much of a rush. Plus my cards are usually so clean and simple that even if you take your time, they still take like no time at all to make. I don't make very complicated cards. And it's not that I don't think they're beautiful. I love some of the layers and the time that you guys take on your cards. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's just kind of my thing. I just think I have a more simple mind, I guess. All right, and one more stamp. Let's do this one because I think it's kind of leggy. you know, for a snowflake. It's got some kind of stick legs coming in. It's a leggy snowflake. Okay. And we'll stamp that one here. Okay. Now, I have to tell you that for these lives, I never prepare and I have no idea what I'm going to do. I just decide what stamp set I'm going to use and then I just wing it. So if I was a little more prepared, I might be able to get 3 cards in, but it's really fun for me and it's quite a challenge to, you know, just wing it with you guys and see what happens. And I am sure that some of these are not going to turn out like I expected, but that's okay. All right, so now we've got that all embossed. Make sure that's completely embossed. You can probably see the shine there, right? There we go. Okay. So for colors, because I want to use a red card base, I think I'm going to use Moonlit Fog. Did you expect that? I did not even expect that. I don't know what I was thinking, but I think I'm going to use a small brush. I don't know if there's any color on here, so I'll just wipe it off. But I think I want to use Moonlit Fog because I want the snowflakes to be a more neutral color, so it doesn't matter what card base I put on. I could put a green card base. I could put whatever color I want. And again, I'm going to start a little heavy in the center. Ooh, I like that. And then I'm going to get lighter as I go out. Oh, I like that. I hope you guys like that too. Okay, now we'll do the big one. I don't know why the big one makes me a little more nervous because it's got a lot more open space. I hope the Moonlit Fog does the job. Let's see. Oh, I like it. It's kind of, it kind of makes it look like it's a lot more three-dimensional. And I'm being really careful not to go too far outside because Moonlit Fog is a darker color. So I don't want to go too far outside and make it real dark. I just want them to be emerging from that dark color. And then for this one, I have to be a little bit more careful because I only have half of a snowflake. So I'm going to start up here where it would be the center and then just work my way out to each of those snowflake legs. That's what we're going to call them from now on. Snowflakes now have legs. All right. So there we go. It's very gentle, I think. So let me grab that same paper towel that I used last time, find a new spot, and just wipe away all the excess Moonlit Fog that's sitting on top. Okay. All right, I'm going to just check in on your comments here and see if anybody's asking anything. Snowflake legs. Oh, I'm glad you guys are laughing with me. Sometimes I think, what are you saying? Oh, and this is a nice one. If hugs were snowflakes, I'd send you a blizzard. And also, may peace, love, and joy be your gifts this season. Oh, I don't know. I think I'll use this one because I want to put it down in this corner because I've got most of my action going up in this corner. So I think it'll be a nice contrast. And again, I'm using my Misty because I don't want to take a chance on messing this up. So some of you guys that I broke my other Misty when I was coming back from Creativation. It broke in my suitcase. That was the one that had the turquoise rulers. I see Hero Arts has a beautiful new one that's black. So I'm torn whether I want to get black or I want to get the new rulers again, the turquoise rulers. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to use the black ink cube again. And I like using the ink cube on smaller greetings because I have a little bit more control and I'm less apt to get it all over the acrylic of the Misty. And also, I did actually put this on right side up. Go me. Okay. Here we go. If hugs were snowflakes, I'd send you a blizzard. All right. So let me clean this stamp and get the Misty out of the way. And then, of course, you know what we're going to do. We're going to mount this onto a black piece of cardstock. And I do get a lot of people asking me for the measurements that I use. So I will tell you that my card bases, these panels here, not the bases, but the white panels, I tend to go 3 1/4 inch by 5 inch. And then I always seem to put them on a 3 7/8 of an inch by 5 1/8 of an inch. That was a mouthful. I don't even know if I said it right. Black layer. And I know some of you have a little bit of trouble cutting that out and getting it really straight. So I want you to know that we are waiting. We don't know when they're going to get here, but we have a die set coming out that has those 2 dies in it. So you can cut those out quickly and you can make that an activity one night. Just cut out a whole bunch of white panels and then a whole bunch of black panels, and then they're ready to go for your card making. So that's coming soon. I can't give you a date because I don't know when anything is coming. I don't even know when next batch of groceries is coming, but whatever, right? We're just going to deal with it. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. Here we go. Now I'm going to use a red card base, and I did cut out, I cut a ton of cardstock the other night just for fun. Like I didn't know what I wanted to make, so I just took a stack of colored cardstock and my paper cutter, and I sat in front of the TV watching a movie, and I cut a bunch of cardstock pieces in half. So I don't need to cut it, I need to score it. So I'm going to score this one at 4 1/4 inches. And if you're new to the Gina K Designs cardstock, our cardstock is a heavy base weight cardstock, most of it. And so when you are scoring, it's good to do a couple score lines first and then fold away from what you just scored. And that will give you a nice, smooth, crack-free edge there. I do have a video on that, just in case, but it's pretty simple as long as you score it enough. Oh, that's going to be a nice combination. And that just feels like a little bit more of a Christmas card to me because of the color. But of course, you know I'm putting sequins on it. I don't know where I'm putting them yet, but okay. So there is the card base and the finished card. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way. And then I'm going to get my Connect glue, my jewel picker. Oh, if you could see the mess I have here, because I still haven't cleaned up from the last live, so it's pretty messy. All right, and then a few sequins. We do have the disco ball ones on order. I'm so sorry that everything's taking so long to get. Okay, so I'm going to put one here. Put one here. Put one here for sure. Put one down here. And I'll put one up here. I'll really spread them out this time. But you can put as many as you want on. I tend to like 3s and 5s and 7s. 7 is a lot though. But sometimes you just need a lot of bling. Just get in the mood. I do like to put the drops of glue down first because it starts to dry a little bit and it seems tackier and the sequins seem to stick to it a little bit better. And these sequins are, some of them are upside down here, so I'm trying to turn them over. So if you have trouble with the sequin not releasing, it could just be that the glue is so wet still. And if you put your drops of glue down first and give them a minute and then add your snowflakes, they might release a little bit easier. So there's the second card. And I know my cards are so simple, but sometimes let me go solo on this screen so you guys can see them together. Here we go. So there they are, my two cards, my two finished projects. But I'll take nice, crisp photographs of these and I will post them on my blog with a link to the live. And I will also post them on Facebook in our Facebook group. Now, I do want to tell you guys that we do have a Facebook group. I usually post my videos on our Facebook page, which is different than our group, and then I share it in the group. But our group is called Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. It is a private group. We have a little over 18,000 members. It's a wonderful community of very, very supportive card makers. So if you are on Facebook and you'd like to be part of our group, we would love to have you. We all share Gina K Designs projects in there. And if you're new to Gina K Designs, it's a great place to get inspiration because our members are so talented and our design team's in there a lot sharing their projects too. So it's getting kind of near the end. It's 7:51. Oh, I'll hold this card up this way too because I did that last time and I think this camera might give you a better view. Here we go. And you can see the little bit of sparkle there. And once again, here's the other one that we made. So that was pretty easy cards, a lot of fun, relaxing, and I have 4 cards ready to go. So I'm going to leave you with a thought. I'm a quote girl. I really like quotes, and I know a lot of you guys post brilliant quotes on both Instagram and Facebook. And I follow so many of you, and I'm always looking at your wonderful quotes. And I saw a great quote from Coretta Scott King. And she said, "The greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate acts of its members." And the stamping community is a phenomenal community. So let's use our talent and our hobby and our time that we have now brightening other people's days by just making a few cards of friendship and just let them know, hey, I'm thinking of you. And I know you're alone, but I just want you to know that we're alone together. And you're part of my life, and I'm still thinking about you. Not everybody is on social media, especially some of the older people in our community, our grandparents, some of our parents. I mean, my mom, before she passed away, I tried to get her to use an iPad. I just wanted to text with her and I wanted to be able to FaceTime with her. And I tried so hard to get her to use an iPad and she just couldn't get the hang of it. It was just foreign to her. She didn't understand how to do it. And she would pick the iPad up and her finger would click on something and everything would disappear and she'd get so frustrated. And a lot of the senior citizens and older people in our community, they're afraid of the electronics and they're afraid of the social media, but nothing makes them happier than getting a handwritten note or a handwritten letter, handwritten and handmade card. So let's use our wonderful ability here to brighten people's day. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll be back on Wednesday. I'm going to try the same format again. It seemed like it worked okay. I really hope it did for you guys and you were able to see everything clearly. I'll be back with Wednesday Whimsy, and we're going to be playing with glitz, glitter gel, and stencils. And I might even try to do a little demo with the new flock and the new enamels by Gina K. So we'll see what we do. We've got an hour, so we'll see what comes up. But thank you again so much for joining me, and I appreciate you guys all so very much. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.